Hello, everyone. So I'm not sure why my camera is not turned on. Um, no idea. So we're just going to keep rolling. Hello and welcome. My name is Sarah Elizabeth, and I am the conscious content creator for The Healer's Nest. It is such an honor and privilege to have you here with me and being your guide to harmonizing with the fall season using the medicine wheel. And this is a teaching that is very deep in my heart. This is a tool, a modality that I have used to support me through my own seasonal depression. And I thought it would be a good idea to share with you so we can support you during this time. And it is my intention to give you guys tools, practices, and modalities to help create awareness and to learn about yourself and the world around you, and to understand that these feelings and these emotions, they are all information to teach you and to guide you. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you're new to the Healer's Nest, I am a guide and mentor for women, and I teach women how to heal themselves with wisdom, energy medicine, movement medicine, and plant medicine. I am a self-published author, podcast host, retreat and plant medicine facilitator, yoga teacher, and Reiki master. And I want to share the Healer's Nest Heartbeat, which is also known as our mission statement. And that is to enlighten, equip, and empower the modern woman on their journey towards healing and spiritual growth. We believe that every woman deserves to lead a fulfilling life physically and spiritually. The Healer's Nest is made up of mentors and healers and educators that are dedicated to providing the modern woman with necessary tools and resources to achieve their goals and desires, and to also create a safe space, a supportive community of like-minded women who are on this journey with us. And we just believe that the woman has the power to heal herself and lead a meaningful life. And the Healer's Nest is here to remind and empower and give you the tools to do so. Please note that this is an educational workshop and is intended to provide information and holistic strategies for managing seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD or seasonal depression. It is not a substitute for medical health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. And if you or someone you may know is experiencing symptoms of SAD or mental health conditions, please seek medical guidance from a qualified healthcare professional. So I want to talk about why this matters and the importance of understanding seasonal depression is for several things. One, for validation. I have been noticing, especially on social media, that women are becoming more aware of the sadness or the grief that they're holding in their bodies when summer is trickling away. They kind of enter like a inner crisis within. And this masterclass is designed to create validation that what you're feeling is real and what you're feeling is true, and that they are not imagined, and it is also rooted in something bigger than ourselves. One thing that I've noticed also on social media with women is early identification. Women are noticing the presence of sadness and the seasons changing, but they're also becoming more aware of how this is affecting their life, and they're doing what they can to equip themselves to navigate during these seasons. So early identification, we identify the symptoms and the patterns, and early recognition is key to seeking help and begin appropriate treatment, whether that is through medicine or support groups or through equipping yourself with tools. Empowerment, knowledge is empowering. So it's really empowering to know what seasonal depression is and how it affects you, and understanding the deeper meaning behind seasonal depression, and having outside resources such as the medicine wheel to empower you. Okay. This also reduces the stigma around seasonal depression and mental health. It encourages us to open up for conversations and compassion, which is both essential for healing and holistic well-being. Understanding seasonal depression helps us take holistic approaches to our well-being, and once again, incorporating self-care strategies to seek professional help and make lifestyle adjustments to mitigate its effects. So what we will be covering today is understanding seasonal affective disorder, the medicine wheel and its benefits, establishing daily rituals for wellness, and plants and herbs to support you. Plus, we will be going over some journaling prompts and some prompts to help you become more attuned to what you're experiencing. So this is a beautiful moment to just take a breath, take a moment to clear and connect to the spirit of your own understanding. Just becoming present in this moment. And this would be a good time to set your intention of what you wish to experience, what you wish to learn, and how you wish to feel. And we're just calling in, divine protection, divine wisdom, divine light to activate within us and around us. Put aside anything, or fold away or release anything that does not serve this present moment. And just giving gratitude. And yes, I am eating snacks. Happy fall, y'all. All right, so this is a gentle reminder. As women, we are an integral part of the Earth's cyclical rhythms and seasons. Just as the natural world around us experiences changes and transitions, so do our bodies, minds, and spirits. By recognizing and honoring this connection, we can embrace this wisdom of the seasons and find harmony within ourselves. Cyclical is defined as happening as a complete set of events that repeat themselves regularly in the same order or regularly repeated in a period of time. So this is just such a very powerful moment to remember that you are a daughter of Pachamama. You are a sister, a mother of Pachamama. And as she grows, you grow right along with her. And when she cries, when she mourns, when she moves, we move right along with her. However, when we feel those cyclical changes within us, we often link that there's something wrong with us, that we're a bad person, or insert your story here. And when we have those stories, what often happens is we are resisting the cyclical changes, the natural life, death, and rebirth. Just how you shed your lining, just how you bleed every month. That's a cyclical process. That is a rhythm that goes along with Pachamama, with the universe. But we resist that because we're scared of that, because no one has told us that. And so, bring awareness to where you're at in this present moment as we are now in the fall season. I believe at the time of this recording, we're in the second week of fall. And, become aware of the patterns of what you're noticing as you're becoming more conscious and more aware of the same feelings that keep reoccurring. That is natural. That is supposed to be happening. Okay. And so I'm here to remind you that you're part of that. And also there are ways to move through that. Seasonal affective disorder is a type of depression that occurs cyclically, typically in the fall and winter months when there is less natural light. It is sometimes referred to as winter depression or winter blues. SAD is characterized by the onset of depressive symptoms during a specific season, most commonly in the fall and winter, and remission of the symptoms are in the spring and summer. Here are a specific symptoms of SAD, which can vary from person to person. Feeling of sadness or low mood, lack of energy, increased fatigue, difficulty concentrating or making decisions, increased irritability or moodiness, changes in sleep patterns such as oversleeping or experiencing insomnia, changes in appetite, craving carbohydrates, and weight gain, decrease in activities once enjoyed, social withdrawal, and decreased interaction with others. So I encourage you to take a moment. Prayerfully, you have your journal, because again, I'm not just pumping out information. I'm not just giving you information. I'm not giving you stuff that will sit on a logic mind. I'm here to give you embodiment. And how do we embody? We include our body into this practice. And how do we do that? We do that by tapping in and tuning in with our spirit, pen, and paper. So I invite you, I invite you to describe your seasonal patterns, reflect on your experiences with seasonal depression. When does it typically begin? How does it manifest in your life? What symptoms are present and affects your daily life? Identifying your emotional landscape. How do you feel emotionally during the fall and winter months compared to spring and summer? Seasonal triggers. Are there any anniversaries, holidays, or environmental changes that contribute to your feelings of depression? So pause this video, pick 2 or 3 questions that really resonate with you, or you can do them all. Really take some time and go deep. Just don't go surface. Go really, really inwards. Because everything that you are putting down is one, information. You're learning about how you work, and you are really like cracking the code of your own self. Because once we really get to know ourselves, that's when we can start really communicating and moving and shifting in our authentic self. And the only way to do that is to really sit down and write this stuff out. So pause this video and begin writing. All right, so if you feel called, you can leave a comment below this video or start a new conversation in the Money Networks about some of the things that you've discovered about yourself in your moment of reflection of how seasonal depression affects you, any aha moments, and is all welcomed here. All right. So what is the medicine wheel and how does it support you? First off, I just like to start off by saying that there are many versions of the medicine wheel. They all carry the same energy and the same idea. Just some of the things that may change are the colors. Some of the things that may change is the animals, but pretty much everything else remains the same. The intention remains the same. And the reason why it's different, it is because of different tribes, different lineages. They have their own interpretation of the medicine wheel. And the medicine wheel is a sacred and symbolic concept used by various indigenous cultures, particularly among the Native American tribes. So, in order to know or learn about the benefits of the medicine wheel, you would have to go to a TP or go to an elder's circle to be taught about the medicine wheel. Okay. And that's how people learned about the medicine wheel. Just so you know, I am Cherokee Indian descent on my mother's side. And so this is just something along my journey that I learned from an elder through my shamanic training. And it was just one of the things that really, really supported me, especially my medicine work. And then I started teaching them at my retreats. And so, this is a way that I am offering this knowledge to you as a descendant in honor of my ancestors and in honor of yours, because I'm pretty sure somewhere in your lineage, they're doing or they're teaching the medicine wheel. Okay. So, the medicine wheel is a spiritual and philosophical framework that represents the interconnectedness of all aspects of life, including the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual realms, as well as the cycles of nature. Each cycle represents a season and a different type of energy or flavor to work with and expand upon. So just for today, or just for this teaching, we are going to be working on the direction of the West that represents the body, that represents the season of fall. So this is the only thing that we're going to be focusing on today, the body. For winter solstice, because we're going to keep going. For winter solstice, we'll be moving into the mind. I want to say that is the north. Pretty sure this is the north. But so today we're only going to be focusing on the body and all the energies that this season has. Okay. So these are the elements of the medicine wheel, which is also called the four directions. Okay. So we have the four directions. Okay. We have the sacred circle, which is symbolizing the cyclical nature of life and interconnectedness of all things. The elements, earth, air, fire, and water, and they often correspond with a color and aspects of life. Then we also have the power animals, and they're seen as totems or spirit guides that offer wisdom and guidance. And then we also have the seasons. And then we also have, there's one more thing that is seasons, animals, elements, sacred or direction. Oh, and plant medicine, which is sage. So the importance of the medicine wheel when we are in flow is human development. The medicine wheel is used to represent stages of human development in the direction of the west, which is fall. We are in our adolescent energy. So this is where we will tune in and learn from our ancestors and learn from the seasons. We're learning right now. So it teaches us the stages of human development from birth to death and rebirth, each stage corresponding with a different direction. It also provides balance and harmony. The central idea of the medicine wheel is to achieve balance and harmony in all aspects of life. And it teaches us that when individuals are in balance with themselves and their communities, the natural world, they can lead fulfilling and spiritual enriched lives. The medicine wheel teaches us how to build interconnections with our emotional self. So let's talk about interconnections and what that actually means. When we are moving into the season of fall, when we are feeling that grief and sadness, the first thing that most of us go to, okay, there's something wrong with this. I'm depressed. I have no idea where this is coming from. And instead of being guided to connect to these emotions, to connect to this information, we are bypassing that. We're disconnecting ourselves from that information by shopping, Netflixing, possibly, suppressing our emotions with a pill or with alcohol, a cuffing buddy, whatever the case may be. Okay. And when I say anything about Western medicine and pills of that nature, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I've had to use Western medicine. I've had to get on pills to help me get to where I'm at. But I have a different relationship, because when I have to resort to medicine, it's just a bridge to help me get to the other side of my healing. Does that make sense? I just don't take medicine to make me feel better. I take medicine to help me become strong enough to come back and look at what is trying to get my attention. Does that make sense? So interconnection, when we put all the things aside as far as bypassing, and when we come into our containers, into our bodies, we are building a relationship to these parts of ourselves that are trying to get our attention, to help us evolve and to shed and to let go. And we're also building a relationship. We're also building a relationship and calling upon the help of the elements and the energies around us and below us and above us to support us through this. Even on the other side, we're calling upon our ancestors during this moment to guide us through this fall transition. Okay? So it's all about building a sacred connection to all parts of yourself, not just the good parts of yourself, the light and the darkness. And another thing that's really beautiful about the medicine wheel, now, if you stick with me long enough, we will be going through all of this, and then we're going to have like a big aha moment. Okay. I just felt very called to just work on each season, right? But once we develop a relationship with the medicine wheel and all the things that it offers, um, when we begin to feel discombobulated in ourselves, we can ask ourselves, okay, what season is my body in? Okay. And this really correlates to women because they have a moon cycle. They bleed every month. And we will be talking about the moon cycle later down the road because it all plays a part in this. But there's a part of us that feels a little discombobulated. So we can turn to the stars. We could turn to nature. We can turn to the seasons. We could turn to the days of the month and say, okay, where am I at in this space right now? Or what is lacking? My spirituality is lacking, or for this instance, my body is lacking. And so we can turn to this medicines of the West and come to this guide and say, okay, where am I disconnected from the element of earth? What am I having trouble letting go of? What needs to be, where does my resilience need to be practiced? You see what I'm saying? Like, we can come to these tools and see where we are missing the beat and then practice in those areas to bring ourselves back into a harmonious state, right? So these are the medicines of the West. So the color is black and it is a symbol of resilience. In the face of the approaching darkness of winter, black can also symbolize resilience and inner strength. It reminds individuals to draw in their inner resources to navigate challenges and transitions. As we come into our maturity, black can also represent our ancestors connecting to those before us to live in this lifetime. The plant medicine that we will be working with is sage. It could be sage or sweetgrass, and here's why I put those two things in there. Sage is a indigenous closed medicine. And it is a very sacred medicine, and there's one or two ways that you can, or there's three ways you can use and practice sage. One, if you grow it and harvest it yourself. Two, if you purchase from a legit indigenous person. Or three, you were gifted a sage bundle from another person. I strongly try to stay away from purchasing sage from these metaphysical shops because I know the importance and I just know the ethical, what am I trying to say? I just know the right way that it should be done, that it needs to be done. And this is not, knocking anybody. These are my beliefs now. These are my opinions. You could do what you want. But it's I share the medicine, but I also don't want to be a part of that space that really whitewashes the true importance of sage. Does that make sense? So what are some things that we could use instead of sage? Sweetgrass is a really good plant to call upon. Tobacco, mugwort, rosemary is a really good one. So those are some things that you can incorporate. And it serves as a powerful symbol of purification, wisdom, resilience, and connection to the both ancestral knowledge and natural worlds. The power animal is the jaguar. And then he or she is our guardian and protector. The element we are connecting to is earth. And the earth element embodies the cyclical nature of life and death. Leaves fall to the ground, decompose, and nourish the soil, contributing to the renewal of life in the spring. And then the energy or the season is fall. All right, so these are the themes of the West and the themes of fall too. Embracing transition. The West teaches us to embrace transitions with grace and resilience. As humans, we just want to hold on to the best thing of our lives. We just want to hold on, and live forever in our hot girl summer era. But when we hold on, there's several things that's happening here. We're trying to control something. We're resisting growth. It often shows that we're scared of, we're in fear of something. And that sometimes that fear is our identity around a certain thing. And we know when we let that go, who are we going to become after that? And is it going to be meaningful? Is it going to be valuable? Am I going to have to work for it? Am I going to have to hurt? Okay. And so just as fall transitions into winter, individuals entering maturity must adapt to new responsibility, challenges, and opportunities. And this invites a mindset of adaptability and openness to change. And we're going to have some beautiful journal prompts to open up. I think a lot of women forget that our bodies are adaptable. We can adapt to anything. The acceptance of change, the art of letting go. And, there's all this talk about, people and things that no longer serves us and releasing the people and things that no longer serve us. But, can we turn that mirror onto ourselves? What beliefs are we holding on to? What habits are we holding on to? Embracing the darkness. When I was sitting with, I think it was last fall or winter or the one before that, and I was staring outside my window. It was super gray and foggy and all the things. And Mama told me, just because you don't see the sun, it is shining. It's just a bunch of clouds covering it. The sun is shining. So, and I live in the Pacific Northwest. So if you know, you know. And so that just allowed me to embrace the darkness more, because regardless how dark it gets, there's light in there. Harvest and gratitude and emotional awareness. And you can take a pause to read these if you feel called to. All right, so now that we know what the medicine wheel is and the medicine it holds and the lessons that it holds with us, how can we make this more practical? How can we interwove this together? Once again, Now you have the wisdom, you have the tools, and now what's important is embodiment. And that is getting the body back into the rhythm of true knowing. When we work with the medicine wheel, we work with the elements and the medicine that season holds. It's about mindfulness, intention, reestablishing a connection to yourself, your emotions, and to the worlds around you. The season offers a deep reflection, awareness, thankfulness, and learning. So when I was sitting with the season of fall, it offers deep reflection. So what do you need to deeply reflect on in the last 2 seasons or the year 2023? Awareness. What are you being aware of, or what needs to be brought into awareness? Thankfulness and learning. Learning. That's what the fall is about, learning, and I'm feeling into it. The winter is more about deep diving and learning. So what can the fall teach me about change, trust, acceptance, transition, celebration, and harvesting? What have I gained this year or in the last 2 seasons? How can I befriend this sadness and grief that lives inside of me? Or any emotion that doesn't feel too pleasant. How can you befriend? How can you make love? How can you parent this sadness and grief that lives inside of you? And it does live inside of you. It lives inside of me. But it's not this doom and gloom. It's just a friend. It's a messenger. It's a postal man or woman or a spirit guide trying to get my attention and saying, hey, I either need love or I have something to tell you. It's really about not being scared of how you are feeling. Okay, like you can't be scared of how you feel. And I think that's where this, seasonal depression gets a bad rap, because we're taught to fear. And we should always be happy and go lucky. And that's not the case. All right, so we can build a fall altar. You can go on a nature walk, get leaves and sticks and pine cones and just things that represent fall. And really, if you pick these things up, be sure to ask for permission. Be sure to say thank you. Be sure to give a small offering. It could be water or fruit or tobacco. Just a simple thank you, a prayer. And then you can build your altar. You can put pictures of your ancestors, of your family, maybe a photo of the medicine wheel, the West, and reflect on finding balance in your own life. Getting crafty. This is a perfect season to snuggle up and dabble in paint by numbers, sewing, or mala making. Really ask yourself, what would you like to create this season? Yin yoga is a deep feminine, powerful movement practice that incorporates the feminine energy in Mother Earth. Connect with the earth element of the West direction in the medicine wheel. And if you're interested in doing some online yin yoga, I'm your girl. Just let me know. Charitable acts. This is a good season to give back. The next 2 seasons, actually, to give back. If you think you're depressed, you think you got it bad, go volunteer at a soup kitchen or a food drive, and you will realize real quick. Deepen your learning. This is a beautiful time. These next 2 seasons, fall and winter, is a beautiful time to deepen your learning. So what is it that you wish to learn? What are you hungry to learn about? This is the time. This is the perfect time. And then you can also do moon rituals. All right. So we have 2 pages of journal prompts. And all of these questions all focus on the west, the direction of the west energy. So here are some things right here. You can pause, take a picture, and just allow the questions to come to you and work on them. And then right here. I would love to hear some of y'all's answers and reflections on this. And then some of these questions are really giving you something to work towards. Okay. A skill to develop, a spiritual muscle to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot happening here. All right. So we have, we're now into the part of nature support, plants and herbs to support your well-being. For the fall transition, this first one is my personal favorite. It is the mimosa tree, and it is the herb of happiness, encourages mental stability, and promotes emotional serenity. Acts as a antidepressant. It comes in as a tincture, and you can purchase this from Valedia Organica. I had her on my podcast a few years ago. Let her know that the Healer's Nest has sent you. I do not get any commission or any kudos for this. I just believe in her medicine, and her brand. And the Healer's Nest mission statement is also to be a resource that support women in BIPOC-owned businesses. So this is where you can purchase. That's if she still has it. If not, Etsy would be a really good resource. Then we have Queen of the Night Cactus, which is a flower essence. And if you're not familiar with flower essences, they are the shit. Basically, they are, so each flower or plant medicine holds codes and information and healings. And we put those into water, and we just allow magic to take its place. And all of those codes go into either the alcohol or the water. And then you take a tincture, and you're building a relationship with these plants, with these things. And they are here to radically support you. And Queen of the Night Cactus is one of them, helping you to be more conscious, to help you make things make sense, and open you up to possibilities which you cannot see with your mind alone. And you can purchase this from desert.alchemy.com. And if there's notes, just let them know that the Healer's Nest has sent you. Real quick, if you guys are interested in microdosing plants or fungi, I do have a masterclass available in Mighty Networks. And I believe it's $47. Yeah. And so I am teaching you how to build a relationship to plant medicine. Okay, so here we are. I want to start off by saying this. If you already smoke cannabis on a day-to-day basis, and if it's not for pain or medical reasons, if you smoke cannabis to deal with your kids, if you smoke cannabis to deal with life, if you smoke cannabis to function, this is not for you. And there's a whole conversation around that, which we'll save for another day. Two, if you are a highly sensitive person, highly empathetic, this may not be for you either, because if you are an empath and commune with cannabis, what can often happen is it weakens your auric field. So you become very vulnerable to all types of energies, and that's what causes you to freak the fuck out. All right. So there's that. So another medicine that can help you is a very low dose ceremonial cannabis use. When it comes to psychoactives, which cannabis is one of them, it is meant to be used for ceremonial purposes only. That is it. Not for everyday communion, unless you have pain. As women, especially women of color, we have been brought up the negative way of sitting with cannabis, and therefore we have an addiction and what's the word I'm looking for? Codependent on cannabis, and that's not what it's used for. It's used for ceremonial use is only. Okay. So, cannabis can be really used for emotional well-being, to enhance self-awareness and emotional resilience. I would personally start with a sativa. You could do this on a full moon. You could do this on a new moon, or when you just really want to connect to your inner self or ancestors. Again, it should not be an everyday, all day thing. It should be like at least once every other month type of thing, or whenever you feel called. Okay. And we all know the positive effects of cannabis if used correctly, and also if we have a beautiful relationship with. I do have a podcast, how to connect with cannabis in a very positive way. And then again, I do have a what's it called? A workshop masterclass teaching you how to build a relationship to plants. So if you're interested, let me know. All right, so that is pretty much it, my loves. That is it. If you do not know, so this is going to be available on my podcast. So if you want to listen to it while you're driving, you can. It sounds really, really ghetto, I will admit, because I had some huge technical difficulties, and I am in my luteal phase of my cycle right now, and it's just like pulling teeth to get me to do anything because your girl's hurting. But anyway, I made a promise. I'm showing up. Here we are. And so there's different modalities that you can tune in and turn on to these resources. So if you feel called, you can leave a love offering to the Healer's Nest on Venmo or Cash App. I'll buy me a coffee /the Healer's Nest. Here are some offerings. We have a January plant medicine retreat in the Pacific Northwest. It's a 3-day, all women's, all inclusive ayahuasca retreat. The dates are the 12th to the 15th. 8 spots are available. And then we have the Radiant Women's Soiree retreat. And we were going to be experiencing transformation and healing through the 6 senses as we travel to the serene and beautiful country of Catalonia, Greece. So that's in April 22nd through May 2nd, 2024. lots of beautiful angel numbers in that. Again, if you're interested in building a relationship with plants, I have that masterclass available on Mighty Networks. You could comment and I will leave it for you. What else is there? We have a Reiki level 1 masterclass coming up very, very, very soon. So if you want to learn how to do energy healing, let me know. So I will have the winter solstice, which will be in December, and we'll be focusing on the North medicine and all of the things. So be sure to follow me and stay engaged on the Mighty Networks platform. I love you guys so very much. Thank you for being here. And if you have any